Guys, welcome back to the biggest agricultural platform in Namibia known as Induna Wengombe, which means headman of cattle. My name, of course, Mitchell Simata, aka the headman of cattle. So today I want to talk about the different type of grazing we get in Namibia or we get in agriculture. It has been a topic that's been intriguing me because I've been trying to decode to say which type of grass do you find in different regions, and I still need to do proper research in it. I think for that one, there's a book I need to buy called Grass of Namibia, so I can just do proper research and be able to classify the different type of grazing you get in Namibia, from Omaheke to the Zambezi. But then I got some information here which talks about Sweetveld versus Sourveld and how to get the best from both. So let's get into this information. As you know, I'm never writing solo. I got my trusted notebook here. Rangeland management is one of the main influences of the livestock production profitability per hectare, with poor management negatively affecting fertility, calving, and animal growth, driving up production and input costs and rendering farmers more vulnerable to climatic risks. Improving and sustainable Feld management could go a long way towards increasing average calving percentage, which will improve farm margins and make less reliant on beef imports. A livestock farmer's first objective should therefore be to guard against degradation. This will repay the farmer by providing enough nutrients for animals. First of all, however, the farmer needs to know what type of Feld is grown on the farm. Then you have type of Feld. Sour Feld generally occurs in areas with poor soil and therefore acidic soil, rainfall above 650 millimeters, and cold winters. The high rainfall in these areas leach away the minerals of the soil, leaving it with few nutrients to feed the plant. Farmers with sour Feld, in fact, may have high volumes of grass but with poor palatability and nutritional value. The soil, now you go to Sweetveld. The soil have higher mineral status due to the lower rainfall, resulting in more palatable plants and grasses with a high nutritional value than those found in the sour Feld. Mixed Feld occurs primarily in areas of transition, where rainfall differs between 500 to 600 millimeters, with sour Feld growing in more acidic soil and Sweetveld in more alkaline soil. Acidic, sour, alkaline, sweet. Feld management. The idea behind Feld management, grazing ecosystems, whereby Feld is managed in a way that unlocks animals with full production potential, without this resulting in deprivation or erosion. Sour grazing is limited to its growth period in spring and summer. In contrast, Sweetveld can be grazed throughout the year without resulting in dropping in animal condition over winter, providing that grazing management is sound. Using fertilizers to try and manipulate sour Feld is not only economically feasible, but trials have shown that the addition of certain chemicals such as nitrogen may actually disrupt the ecosystem, resulting in unpalatable species becoming more dominant. Managing sour Feld, nevertheless, is relevantly easy. A rule of thumb: the grass should never be left to grow higher than a beer can, placed upright. Care should be then taken to address nutritional deficiency in cattle, which might emerge as a result of the poor quality of the Feld. A ration of protein leak. The palatability of the grass may also be increased by spraying it with molasses solution that contains trace of urea and minerals. Sweetveld. Managing Sweetveld is trickier, as it is much more vulnerable to drought because of the variability in rainfall in the regions in which it occurs. The carrying capacity is also lower, ranging between 60 hectare and about 30 hectare. In comparison with 4 hectares the carrying capacity is also lower, ranging between 6 hectares MLU and 30 hectares MLU, in comparison with 4 hectares MLU to 6 hectares MLU on sour Feld. For optimal management, Farmers need to know and understand the composition of the species that grow under their production conditions, and the way in which these are influenced by grazing and climatic conditions. The goal of Feld management is to keep the climate species dominant. Problems when climate species such as red grass, finger grass, and woolgrass are replaced by less palatable grasses such as wiregrass or grasses that are less productive, such as loam, lavergrass, and curly leaf grass. The problem will be even more severe if the field has deteriorated to such an extent that it has resulted in pioneer species such as stick grass and couch grass taking over. Farmers therefore need to create a strategic grazing management program. Good field management can significantly lower your vulnerability to droughts and also accelerate the time it takes for field to recover after a drought. The plan should be adapted continuously in accordance with field and climatic conditions to allow for the recovery of areas with deterioration or degradation is observed. There is talks of the benefits of ultra-high density grazing, where high numbers of stock for a very short periods are grazed in a particular area. However, there is insufficient scientific data to prove that this method of grazing is more advantageous for felt in the long run than a well-manned felt rotation system. Currently, research proves that well-managed felt rotation systems result in improved felt condition and increased livestock production and farm profitability. Farms Farms showed a significant improvement in calving percentage, and weaning weights increased from an income per cow from 1,498 with no field management intervention to about 5,472 cows in just a year following the introduction of well-managed rotation systems. Feed supplement. Protein supplements are non-negotiable on Sourveld for 6 to 7 months of the year, as the field from autumn to spring generally does not contain enough nutrients to maintain body condition in livestock. In some instances, Sourveld supplies enough nutrients for only 3 months of the year. In this case, one needs to use urea in combination with natural source of protein such as oil cake, as urea can only be utilized by microbes in the ruminant. These microbes become a source of protein for the animals, but alone are not sufficient to make the animal protein requirements to meet the animal's protein requirements during the maintenance on Sourveld. In winter, hence the need of additional natural protein. Force-feed supplements to are crucial too, especially in some field regions. While soil quality is generally better on Sweetveld, some soils have been depleted of phosphate, which have to be supplemented to avoid reproduction and growth failure. Supplement intake supplement intake needs to be managed carefully on both Sourveld and Sweetveld. On the farm, cattle tend to eat too much as supplement because of poor palatability of felt. This is addressed by raising the salt percentage of the supplement to roughly 40%. Cattle on Sweetveld, in contrast, might not eat enough supplement. Therefore, the salt content of their lick should range between 10% to 25%. Molasses is generally used as an energy source, but also helps to improve the palatability of the supplement. It contains high level of potassium, which is beneficial for cattle on both sour and sweet felt. The quality and type of felt also influences the feed composition and regimen, which can be divided into 4 phases. Summer supplementation, which starts after the first rains from November to Feb. Transitional supplementation, the felt begins to deteriorate. from Feb to April. Winter supplementations following the first frost in April until August. Supplements for the calving season from August to September to October. Phosphate track elements as the major nutritional priorities in summer. Cattle need a minimum of 6 grams of phosphate per day during these times, depending on the field condition. Since dry grass does not contain vitamin A, such a supplement is also required. Vitamin A is important for a healthy mucous membrane, immune functions, and fertility, and deficiencies may lead to an increased risk of infectious diseases and reproductive failure. During the transitional period, cattle generally need a protein phosphate combination requiring 50 grams to 80 grams of protein and 6 to 9 grams of phosphate per day, depending on field conditions. Protein demand will increase between 180 grams to about 240 grams on Sourveld. When this field is dormant from April to August, whereas phosphate demands will fluctuate between 2 grams and 6 grams. In addition, trace elements and minerals will become a greater priority. During the calving season, supplements should be more energy focused to ensure that the cows have enough energy to produce calves without birthing complications, that their milk production sustains the optimum growth of their calves, and that they remain fertile for the following calving cycle. Supplement intake is at its highest at this point in the production cycle, ranging from 1 kilogram to about 1.5 kilogram per day, compared with 400 grams to 600 grams of protein leak, 200 grams to 300 grams for a transitional leak, and 100 grams to 200 grams for a mineral leak. So those are the different type of grazing and the different type of setups you'd have to put in there. When the grass becomes a bit dormant, like for sour leek, if you're in a sour leek area, add some molasses to your feed. That helps increase the energy because the sour leek is not palatable. It's not nice. It's sour. The cattle might not like that. And I read also somewhere that when you're buying animals from a Sweetveld area and taking them to a Sourveld area, they usually take time to adjust to those conditions. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll just say bye for now.